When you sit down with that Walmart buyer for the very first time, they will have plenty of questions about your shopper and your consumer, and also they're going to want to know about your marketing plan. Well, Jessica Hendrix is president and CEO of Saatchi and Saatchi X, and she's joining us now to deep dive on preparing for that Walmart buyer meeting. Jessica, it's always great to have you in studio.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the marketing plan always fascinates me because there's so many aspects of it that is expected from Walmart. What are some of the high-level things that a new supplier would need to prepare before even going into that meeting?
I think it's an interesting question because it typically raises or causes a little bit more anxiety than perhaps the new supplier needs, right? Because what we know about Walmart marketing is really what's in the marketplace today, and that's really where we recommend that you start, is looking at what is Walmart doing today in their marketing and their advertising. Are they doing big campaigns? Are they doing small things where they're partnering with other suppliers to do some type of specific marketing activity? And really even looking at what's happening within the category that you're in from a marketing perspective. Once you can kind of understand those things, I think it really makes sense for you to determine what are we doing as a supplier group that could actually help support what Walmart marketing is doing, and or going to support the product that we're trying to launch more specifically. And are there elements of it that are going to feel unique and differentiated for Walmart, right? They're going to want something that is going to break through the clutter, really talk differently to the Walmart specific shopper.
Now, you were talking about the shopper, and even before this meeting happens, that supplier knows their shopper. What are some of those things that they'll need to present about their shopper to that Walmart buyer?
A lot of great information about your shopper is really what is going to help that buyer to understand what it is that you want to communicate as part of that marketing plan. And so insights, and that's probably a little bit of an overused word these days, but insights about your shopper, and that's everything from what you know from first-party data, what you know from other reputable sources, brought together to kind of anecdotally talk about what does this shopper want to hear and what is going to convert that shopper to purchase, right? So when we think about consumer, we think about brand and we think about awareness, but when you think about the shopper, it's about converting that shopper when they are actually thinking about making a purchase and understanding that shopper insight so that you can leverage that to actually get them to click, get them to buy in store, either one of those to actually drive purchase.
Now, you mentioned something very interesting, and that's the shopper versus the consumer. And I think maybe a new supplier, even though they've done their research, they might not understand how Walmart is going to approach them about appealing to both. So what's a little bit of a differentiation that Walmart expects on the two?
Yeah, great question. I think there's a few things. One, if you're a smaller supplier, you may not necessarily have the marketing budget to really drive that top line consumer awareness. So what you might have to do is spend a little bit more of your budget and your dollars working harder to get that shopper to convert, whether that's online, out of store, or actually physically in the store. And that might look like a more engaging display. That might look like doing something really disruptive at the side counter. So when I'm walking down the aisle and I'm making that purchase, and by the way, 80% of purchases are still made at the side counter or in the aisle, what can I do to really disrupt and communicate my brand benefit, my product benefit at the time that they're really making that purchase?
And really quickly, what is something a new supplier needs to know about Walmart's marketing initiative for 2018?
I think there's a few things. One, talk about why Walmart and why their product is going to benefit Walmart disproportionately.
All right, Jessica, it's always great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jared.